Hello and welcome to the Horror Grill. I've been in meetings all day, so I've lost my voice, so let's bear that in mind. Tonight we're going to be joined by the rather wonderful Alan Shivers, author of the European Halls trilogy and the released tomorrow, hello Dominic, the released tomorrow Namaste Slasher. Hopefully he's going to join me in a minute and we'll have a little chat all about him. You know, and then we'll talk about the book. It's so exciting. It's such a fantastic book, my darling. So I hope you're going to do it. Oh, you can go live. I love him, by the way. He's one of my friends and I love him dearly. He knows that. So that's no surprise to anyone. How are you all anyway? All right? Hello? Hello!
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, can you hear me? All right, my darling.
All good, all good. Good to see you again.
You too.
It's been a hot second.
I know. I've been in meetings all day, so I've lost my voice a bit. So please, I apologise for that.
It's okay. It makes it a little bit sexier. All good.
I know. I should start charging. Do you know what I mean?
Go for it.
Anyway, this is the wonderful Alan Shivers, who is the author
Hello.
of European Halls trilogy. Check it out, my friends. It's going to be a franchise one day. And released tomorrow, the Namaste Slasher. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. But we're going to, first of all, get to know Alan a little bit better.
You're thinking of my real name, weren't you?
I am sorry. Perhaps we should just face that elephant in the room. Alan Shivers is not your real name, right? So
No,
how
not
did
quite.
you come up with that pseudonym?
Yeah, first of all, my real name is just difficult to pronounce if you're not a Flemish speaker, because I'm Belgian. And Alan Shivers, kind of my homage to Helen Shivers from I Know What You Did Last Summer. My favorite chase scene. I love 90s slashers, obviously, as a slasher author.
Yeah.
And I've always been a massive fan of Sarah Michelle Gellar. And that was like 97, 98 was like the heyday with Scream 2, Buffy, so Helen Shivers became Alan Shivers. There you go.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oh,
She gathered books.
Yeah, bless them. So tell us a bit about yourself. We obviously know you're Belgian and speak loads of languages, far more than I do anyway. So can you tell us a bit about yourself and where you're from?
Yeah, so I'm from Brussels, from the capital of Belgium. According to some, it's a hellhole if you listen to Trump, but it ain't. It's nice living here. Very multicultural. Yeah, it's a very multicultural city. It's the second most multicultural city in the world. It's like 183 nationalities.
Wow.
I'm a slasher author, but next to that, I'm also a teacher. Teach at a European school here in Brussels, which was the inspiration for the European Halls trilogy. Other than that, I live with my, I don't know if you can see her. She's eating away. She always does. There's my stray doggy. Blanchki. There we go. Yeah, so that's my Romanian stray doggy I adopted a couple of years ago. Other than that, just enjoy meditating daily, architecture, museums, watching a lot of slashers, and being a big geek, basically. As most of us horror authors and readers.
All the best people are geeks.
Exactly.
When did you start writing? Have you always written since you were young, or is it something you've come to later in life? And what made you decide to publish?
I used to draw like little comic books. I just found I found these again a couple of weeks ago. I posted something on my Instagram when I was like 10 or 12. Was written in Flemish at the time, but they were already slashers. Funnily enough, with all these women with a lot of cleavage, even though back then I definitely knew I was gay already too, but somehow the boobs were omnipresent and the heels were omnipresent. So I've always done those kind of like little sketches, and I started studying English and Spanish literature in Ghent. Then I moved to Manchester, so to the UK to continue my studies there, and I was always writing like poetry, or we had to write screenplays, things like this. Yeah. But then I actually didn't start. Well, I first started publishing. Tomorrow will be my first year anniversary, actually. It's only been a year, which is mad. So yeah, it's been 4 books in a year. Don't know how I ended up writing that fast. I guess being single helps. But other than that, so yeah, I started self-publishing. European Halls was the 1st of October last year. I think I worked on that for about a year because it was a debut and it took longer. You're very insecure. Well, I still am, but less. Um, and then it started speeding up the process through ARC readers. And by the way, for anyone who's watching, Sharon was my very, very first ever early reviewer or ARC reader. So it all started was like last year, I think August, right? It was before the release. So
Yeah, there was a little message from you on TikTok, if I remember, saying, "Oh, I'm new to this and I'm not sure what I'm going to do,
I
and
know.
oh, do you fancy reading my book?" And I went, "Yeah, crack on." And
Yeah, luckily, thank God that you're open to it because I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are like, who the hell is this?
oh, I
So
love
yeah.
finding new stories. Do you know, we're
Hmm.
readers, at heart. Most authors are the same. We're readers at heart, and the idea of
Absolutely, yeah.
anybody creating a new story is fun, isn't it?
Hmm.
Oh, poor Shelley from Tales Point Horror has got a new
Tiny kitten.
kitten.
Oh, bless. Oh, cute. I found me through the lovely Sharon as well. Yeah, there you go. So Sharon really helped a lot. Like you've always been helping. You still do, but that kind of helped because then I was book of the month in your reading club, right? The
In
Slasher, the
the
first
horror
one,
book club,
which I
yeah.
happen to have next to me very spontaneously,
Oh,
but this is the hardcover of the first
oh,
European Halls, and I've got the
I
other
have
books here too, of course.
Nadine. I actually absolutely love
Hi.
European halls, and absolutely love
Thanks,
it.
Karen.
Yeah, thank you, Karen. I love European halls, and I do believe it would make a fantastic film franchise. It
Hmm.
Because it's so different to other slashers in the fact that it takes place in a modern city, not in a little town somewhere where there's one
Yeah,
horse and a pub. It's in a modern city. Most of the really juicy kills happen in daylight. So
yeah, and in European cities too, which isn't very
it
frequent. Yeah.
is. It's just I love it so much. Namaste Slasher. I was very fortunate to read this for you, and I love
Hmm.
this book. And yes, but anyway, we'll get to it in a minute. We'll get to it in a minute. Okay. How have you? Because this is an indie horror kind of exploration, I suppose, for other indie authors who are thinking of publishing. How have you
Hmm.
found the world of self-publishing? Have you found it very difficult? The interaction, the social media stuff you have to do, the self-promotion. It's hard, isn't it? Oh, he's frozen. Belgium is frozen. He'll be back in a minute.
Back or not?
That's actually, you
Hello?
look quite attractive. You froze there, Alan, but you froze in a very sultry pose.
I mean, it's just my second nature, what can I say? I'll send the link to my OnlyFans as well. Uh, no, where did I freeze? Because I was still babbling away. So,
Oh, yes. I was just going to say, I'm obviously talking about the world of indie horror. How do you
hmm,
find the world of self-publishing? Because it's a very different thing to traditional publishing.
yeah,
You're a lot more self-involved. You have to do everything yourself, all the promotions yourself. I know your covers, you commission those, and they're beautiful. But how have you found the indie publishing world?
the publishing itself is not easy. Can't lie, because it's very difficult to be a new name and not have a large printing press behind you or do any of the promo work. It's kind of turned into a full-time job next to my teaching job, which is
Yeah,
also a full-time job, and of course for a lot less money. But that's not what you do it for. It's for the passion of writing,
yeah,
first and foremost. Hey, Alex, my fellow European. Um, I love the fact that I'm in direct contact with readers, that I have complete creative freedom, that no one's telling me, oh, scrap this, or this is too niche, or this is too different,
yeah.
or so that's really cool to have creative liberty. And I do still work with other people. I have an editor, I have a proofreader, I have a graphic designer for the covers, obviously, but it is a very isolating job at the same time. It's very much just you and your own
I
world
see.
building. Hi, Sue. So it's lonely at times. Love the earring too. Ghostface rep. Good timing for spooky
Yeah,
season
yeah, yeah.
tomorrow.
It
And
is.
for
It
slashers.
is a kind of. It's a bit of a minefield, isn't it? Because you're responsible
Yeah.
for all of the promotion, regardless of whether you've got an
Hmm.
editor or a proofreader, and your covers are beautiful, by the way. They look like movie posters.
That was the
But
idea, yeah, like
they
90s
they very,
vibes.
very much that kind of style, aren't they? But you are solely responsible for your sales, really, aren't you? It's a lot of pressure, isn't it?
It's a lot of work and a lot of like hidden stuff. So I've taken like some courses how to do Facebook advertising, Amazon advertising. It's a lot of
Yeah.
investing. Like you can't just publish a book without having money saved up. That's
No.
just a reality of it. You need quite a amount of money before you can even think of breaking even. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's worth it in the long run. I mean, like the first like convention I went to in Birmingham, where we first met face to face.
We had so many
Uh,
cuddles.
oh yeah, I'm a cuddler, and so are you, right? So that really kind of made a click in my head because I was for the first time I didn't feel
Yeah.
alone because I mean I saw all the readers, reviewers, and fellow authors who I had a bit of an imposter syndrome thing going on, being non-native, being the only Belgian and whatnot. But it was really nice that everyone was just super welcoming, very open, very warm, and it gave me a lot of energy when I came back home. I mean, I was tired as fuck as we all were. Can I swear on Instagram? Sorry.
I don't know.
Too late. Too late.
If we suddenly get cut off, then no.
Yeah, oops. Oh, Alex, it's released tomorrow. Namaste Slasher,
We'll
because I saw her.
get. She's
Yeah.
so impatient, Alex. Honestly. So we'll get on to the Namaste Slasher. So, the Namaste Slasher is your fourth novel. Have you got a copy there, Alan? Because obviously I haven't.
I do. Yeah, I mean, yeah, these are still the earlier ones, but it's out
Look at
tomorrow.
this beautiful cover.
Yeah.
There is
And
going to be a
what I
hardback
feel,
edition as well, which is going to be a
yes,
different colorway.
yep.
But this
So
is
this is the
it's
front.
stunning.
I guess it's mirrored.
Yeah, and those
Hmm.
are the 5 characters.
Yeah. We have a Bosnian character, Bulgarian, French Curacao, Swedish, and Belgian. There had to be Belgian in there. And then I have a blurb from, and that's something that still boggles my mind. Victor Miller read the book, the writer of Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
I've been in contact with him for a couple of months, and he blurbed it on the cover. So that's a bit of a mind fuck. Let's
it
put it that way.
is really. But that just goes to show, though, really, because as I say, I read it as a before it was an arc, and it was a fantastic story to begin with. It was so unusual. Do you want to give an overview of what the story? Without, I don't want to
Yeah.
give too much away.
Yeah, it's very
So,
tricky, this one, right? Because there's really big twists in this one. So I'm gonna have to learn. This is the first interview, to not give any spoilers.
do you want me to do the
So,
overview?
excuse me?
Do you want me to do the overview?
Yeah, go for it. I'll shush you when you say something wrong.
I'm not going to say anything wrong. The Namaste Slasher is set in the beautiful countryside of Croatia, which we'll talk about in a minute. At a mindfulness retreat with 5 very, very different characters have been invited to. And they're all there for their own reasons. They all have their own issues, and they are all very funny. There's a lot of humor in this, a lot of really dark, bawdy humor that will make you laugh,
Oops.
right?
Hmm.
And basically, they are not alone. And there's
Nope.
something that is in the mountains that has been there for a little while that
Hmm.
starts to stalk them and is a bit hungry for
Yeah, for love? No.
for blood.
Yeah, for blood, exactly. This fellow over here wearing a Buddha mask.
Yeah, and
So yeah, connected, of course, to spirituality. Yeah.
it's I mean, what made you think of actually? Firstly, what made you choose Croatia? Yeah, I'm assuming you've been to Croatia. It's a beautiful country.
Mm,
I'm assuming you've
couple of
been
times,
there.
yeah.
What made you
Hmm.
choose that location? Was it just something that?
I have a big love for the Balkan area to start with, so Serbia, Bosnia,
Me too.
Croatia. Yeah, it's stunning. I used to live in Budapest, which is not really considered the Balkan, but larger Balkan.
Yeah.
So I took a lot of like night trains, night buses to go to Croatia now and then to be by the coast because Hungary's landlocked. So it was nice to be able to go to the coast.
Yeah.
Have a couple of really good friends, Croatian friends that I met in Budapest because a lot of Croatians go to Hungary for jobs. And there's something very unique about, well, the Balkan history. Sadly, of course, a lot of it.
Bless him. He's having trouble in Belgium. I've been to Romania, Alex. I went to Romania mainly because I wanted to Yeah, I wanted to go to oh, you know where Vlad the Impaler was. Balinese, what's it called? Hello,
Transylvania.
darling.
Transylvania, right?
Transylvania. It's not
That's where
called
my dog is
Transylvania.
from.
It's called Wallachia. I think Wallachia. Alex will amend my pronunciation, but that's where Vlad the Impaler was based. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been to his castle, and I've been to Romania like 6 or 7 times, Alex. I even guided a school trip from Brussels to Romania to do like an eco slow tourism one. So yeah, I have a big love for the Balkan area as a whole, and I guess that's why Croatia came about because there's something very unique about Slavic paganism. Uh, yeah, I wanted to have some pagan touches to it, it's a little bit of magic realism. Some reviewers have noted,
It's a
while
bit.
still being a slasher.
It's a bit like it's like myths and legends. You know, that kind of
Hmm.
basis in kind of the old religion, but
Yeah,
with myths and legends coming into it, like almost an urban legend edge. Because
yeah.
within the town, it's an urban legend, isn't it? And
Hmm. Hmm.
so yeah, I love that. I love the fact that I love Croatia. And I think a lot of these countries
Same.
in the Balkans aren't seen as being a great place to visit, but they're actually incredibly beautiful,
Whoa,
and
they're
more
stunning.
people should visit. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
What made you think of a mindfulness? I know you meditate, so do I. I'm a pagan, I'm a witch. What made you decide on a mindfulness retreat? Is it something you've done yourself and you thought, oh, that's a good place to be killed?
Basically, no, I have actually someone I was very close with in the past was a mindfulness teacher. I've always been very interested in mindfulness and then having a look through what their schedule looked like on mindfulness retreats.
Yeah,
I was just kind of thinking basically, what is the place where I feel safest in
yeah,
life or the moments I feel safest in life? And I have anxiety issues and whatnot, like many people do. But when I'm meditating, that's kind of when everything shuts off. And I was thinking, like the opening scene, without giving too much away, is about this moment when you're meditating, when you feel safe, and then all of a sudden,
something
dang,
happens.
horror happens. Yeah, so I think it's a dichotomy of feeling safe together with like unsafety, enveloping you. I thought that was a really fun and hopefully original aspect to a slasher.
And I think as well, you know, apart from the characters all bring a very, very different energy, don't they? Even the teacher and the other people on the mindfulness retreat, they all bring their kind of energy to it. So all very different. But also the place is locked down pretty much. So they're supposed to be safe. And so it's that idea that you're in a very safe environment nobody can get
Hmm.
into and somebody gets in. Do you know what I mean?
Whoops. Yeah,
It
yeah, that
has
was
very
kind of the
much
idea.
Halloween, Friday the 13th vibes, I think. You know, with the
Hmm.
masked kind of slow moving, almost
Hmm. Hmm.
indestructible killer.
Hmm.
I mean, that's no spoiler. It's a slasher after all.
Yeah, yeah, that's very obvious from the get-go. From chapter one, you'll see what it's about. So yeah.
There's a lot of chase scenes in this. The fear is quite palpable when they run from place to place. I don't really
Hmm.
know how much to say, but there's a part when they go into another underneath the place, which
Yeah, you.
I love that
Hmm.
part. That was
Hmm.
I thought that was brilliant. Really, really
Thanks.
enjoy it. And the fear that when they run, the fear as they're running around, it's brilliant. There are
This, yeah,
incredible
hopefully it
twists
was
and turns
palpable.
in this story. One of the twists in this actually made me I gasped,
I thought you said gag, but okay, that's fine too.
gagged, gasped.
Bit of both.
I was just stunned.
Hmm.
It was
Yeah,
so different.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. I love subverting tropes, and I've had that since European Halls. That I think it's the geek factor, just having watched probably.
Oh, bless him. He's having trouble with his connection. Love him. Hello, M. Shays. Nice to see you. Yes, I was very lucky to read it, Melina. So yeah, I think we're very lucky
Sorry,
to have seen it. There you are.
am I gone
You're back
again?
again.
Sorry,
You keep
is the
coming and
connection
going.
bad? Oh, sorry, but can you hear me when I'm here,
Oh,
like properly? Otherwise, I should go to a
yeah,
different
yeah,
room, maybe.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Just thinking, should I go to another room? Is that better for you?
I think it's just there's a lot of people in Belgium online.
The full 12 million.
They're all online,
Yeah, I'll
aren't
just
they?
hold it. We'll see. Yeah. Tap it away. Sorry, where were we? I got a bit like sidetracked. My apologies.
Um, oh, I can't remember now. We were talking about the twists and turns, and you're saying you like to subvert the genre.
Yeah, so like subverting tropes because of having watched so many. As a fan myself, I kind of selfishly in the beginning started writing for myself, thinking what would I like to see or what would I like to read that hasn't really been done as often yet. So I guess I have the advantage of being a genre geek myself, I guess.
Yeah, and Shelley's put, that she's refreshing to have a different setting. And as I said earlier on, that's what makes your
Hmm.
books really quite unique, I think, is the fact they're not in a tiny small town somewhere in America. These are in very,
Yeah.
very modern European countries. The European settings, that is a quite a unique USP for you, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is nice to walk away from something like quintessential about slashes. It's a very American genre, or Canadian American in the beginning, when it
Yeah.
all started with like Black Christmas and Halloween and all those. So it's nice to step away from that and inject my own experience as a European as well, and go. There's also some scary places in Europe, people. So
The scary
and
people
beautiful places
everywhere, love.
too. Oh yeah. Wait, hopefully it keeps working now. I'll set it still. Fingers crossed.
Okay,
There we
darling.
go.
Now, all of your stories and European halls, the big thing for me in that was that it has incredible LGBTQI representation. In fact, you've just won the Bookstagram Award for
Whoop, whoop,
LGBTQI
whoop.
Book of the Year for European halls.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
that was
darling.
mad.
It
Thank you,
was,
thank you,
yeah.
and thanks for anyone who voted. That was mad to find out. I remember screaming in the shower when someone when I heard actually. So yeah,
I
that's
always,
crazy.
it was so difficult because I added all the votes up at the beginning of the week. It was so hard keeping that from you because I just wanted to tell everybody who'd won, and I couldn't tell any of you because I had to wait till Friday, so it was a big reveal. I'm not
Yeah,
good at
makes
that.
sense. I didn't even honestly, and I'm not saying this as like false modesty, but I didn't consider the possibility of. So I've kind of had this thing in my head where I was very grateful being nominated, and that was more than enough after,
You were the
being self-published for less than a year. So
you
there you
were
go.
clear. You were the
Anything else is
clear
a win.
leader, the clear leader all the way through for the whole month. So
No.
a lot of
Woohoo.
people, a lot of love out there for you, my darling.
No,
But
thank you.
in European halls, what I was most impressed about, which you don't see a lot, is the Arrow Ace representation. You rarely see that.
Hmm.
I'm Arrow Ace myself,
Hmm.
and I really enjoyed that.
I'm glad
Um,
to hear.
Difference,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very important for you. I mean, obviously, as a gay man yourself, is it important for you to represent that community? It's nice to see everybody represented. To be fair,
Yeah, 100%. It's something that grew organically, like with the trilogy of
yeah,
European Halls. The first one, I was so new, the debut, I was so scared. There was a sapphic relationship in there, but it wasn't, let's say, a dominant factor, so to speak. But I think it became queerer and queerer as the trilogy went on, just because I felt more
yeah,
confident within the story. And there was a certain point where I was thinking, okay, I'm gay, I'm a man, but that's still a very, very dominant majority within the queer community. We're
yeah,
usually the ones that have the loudest voice or are represented the most. And I thought, well, it's not really fair. So if I have the louder voice, so to speak, like who can I bring on that should be represented that isn't represented enough? So I talked to sensitivity readers. So I reached out to the ROA's community on TikTok, on Instagram. I interviewed 50 or 60 people, showed them a couple of like early first draft chapters and asked them, how do you feel? Do you feel like you're represented properly? Do you feel it's too much of a pastiche or a stereotype? And I got a lot of feedback, positive and negative, which I definitely needed it. And I think that helped to then hopefully see yourself being represented in a way that's not just one dimensional. And the same with the third European halls, and there's also a lot of queer representation in the new one too.
I think
Yeah,
the thing
it's
is
really
it's
important.
not forced. It's kind of part.
No.
It's not. It's just who they are, and it's just part of the story. It's
Yeah, and it doesn't define them as,
no,
you know what I
it's
mean?
just
It's not a
one
character
aspect.
trait or anything.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, there's
yeah,
way more to them like it is in real life. It's not just, hey, nice to meet you. I'm a gay author. There's more to it than that,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I'd
absolutely.
like to think.
Because we all got lots of facets, isn't it? And
Hmm.
in the current um, uh, atmosphere of a lot of countries at the moment, is that it's a big thing. Where actually it's just one small facet of someone's life. Do you know? It
Hmm.
doesn't
Hmm.
define them, does it? But it is
Yeah, I
nice to
agree.
see. It is nice to see that represented. Um, in here's Matt. Matt is
Hey, Matt.
interviewing Alan tomorrow night on the indie horror chapter. Is it the indie horror chapter?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
author to
Hmm.
author.
Yeah, that'll be
That'll be
intriguing too.
fun. I'm going to come in and cause
Yeah,
chaos, Matt.
please do. I'm sure he will be just doing the same right now. So, thank you, Booking Bunkers. I appreciate. Yeah,
That's Amelia. You know, Amelia won your competition to win the
yeah,
two
yeah. I sent.
hardbacks. Yeah. So she
Yeah,
was
yeah.
one of the
At the
people who
time,
asked me if there was going to be a hardback edition of this. So there will be.
there will be, and there's a little extra in there too. So Namaste Slasher is released tomorrow, the paperback in any major bookshop and also on Amazon. And of course free on KU, and you can get the ebook on Amazon. But then the hardcover looks a little bit different, and there's a bonus chapter which includes some input from ARC readers. So basically, the early reviewers, and I'll tell you more after this, Sharon, because you should be part of it too. Yeah, they'll be in there actually. So some of you who are watching, I know that you are ARC reader. So don't give any spoilers, but it's really fun interacting with ARC readers and having them be part of the book too for a special edition. So yeah,
It's going to be
that's
lovely.
been
And
fun.
I've got the 3
Hmm.
hardbacks of European Hall, so I'll definitely be getting the hardback of the new one as well. So basically, if
Hmm.
you love your horror juicy, gory
Like myself.
slasher action with great characters and more twist than a pretzel, you're going to love this book. It comes out tomorrow.
Yep. Which is still
So
kind
this
of
is
still
publishing
exciting slash
Dave.
terrifying, but uh-huh.
Excuse me. I've been in meetings all day. I've lost my voice. It's terrible, isn't it?
Some water, love.
Oh, let's just have a little drink. Cheers.
So a little toast to the beginning of spooky season tomorrow.
Woo,
Here's
it's
to spooky season,
October
everyone.
tomorrow. It's
Hmm.
going to be fabulous.
Mariah Carey can stay frozen for a while. She can defrost in November.
Oh yeah, indeed. Anyway, it's out tomorrow. Namaste Slasher, which is what we're here is to promote the Namaste
Hmm.
Slasher, which is out tomorrow. My review went up
Yep.
today. I know there's been a lot of very positive, a lot of 5-star reviews for this book from early ARC readers, hasn't there?
Yeah, that's always really fun. Oh, my ex-roomie just popped on there as well, Natalie. She
Hello,
just moved out like a
Natalie.
week ago. Hey, Natalie. Alles gut, Schatz. German.
Okay. Was that just hello?
Yeah, yeah, are you okay, darling? I asked.
Oh,
So
that's
thanks
okay.
for. Aw.
Hello, Liz.
Thanks
Everybody's
for
wishing
checking
you
in,
a
people.
happy October Eve, happy publishing day Eve. Oh, bless
Yeah,
them.
still a bit scary, those things, even if it's the fourth time by now. Still like terrifying slash exciting at the same time, but.
It is, I know. Have you had your buy him the candle?
Yeah, basically I found these like Michael Myers candle, and it has like this red, no, like this the head of Michael Myers, and it has a red candle on
And
top. And once
it
it
comes out of his
starts,
eyes and his mouth.
exactly,
Yes. I want one
Elizabeth, you better
too.
get me one.
Is this
There you
I'll
go.
get you one? You're gonna end
She
up with 10 of them.
she better do like a little present for my new book. Thanks. Do you think you'll ever get used to the feeling, Alan? Probably not, but I think that's a good thing. I think if you get used to the feeling of a new book, you probably is a bit arrogant or apathetic. And I'd like to think that I hope that I'll be just as excited as I would for the first release in the future. That's the hope.
It's very scary, you know, because it's you're putting yourself on paper. There's always going to be some of you in it. It's a little bit of
Yeah,
your
yeah.
soul, isn't it? And
Uh,
so the idea of
uh,
then releasing that to the masses and have them judge it, because once it's published, it's gone from
it's
you.
out there.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's out there
I'll be happy though when it's
forever.
out there. It can't, for me, it's a relief in a way. Because, I mean, okay, you will be judged. There will be 1-star reviews, hopefully 5-star reviews, 3-star, whatever. I don't try not to look at that too much, but it's the idea of tomorrow it finally being out there. Whoever wants to read can read it. I think is going to be a relief because there's so much build up, so much promo happening before, so many rewrites and whatnot. So I'll just be happy that it's there, people. Now let me have a good nap
I have to
and enjoy the
say,
book, basically.
as a horror reader, I actually look for 1 or 2-star reviews because the people who write 1 or 2-star reviews aren't horror readers. So if somebody says to me, "Oh, this was too
Oh yeah,
gory," I'm
absolutely.
going to go for that
Hmm.
book. That's perfect for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed usually with the one star, it was something like they made really dumb decisions in this book. I was like, well, darling, it's a
It's a slasher. It keeps freezing, Matt. We might have to move him to another room tomorrow, Matt, when you have yours. I think he keeps losing his connection. Everybody in
Oh,
Belgium
am I
is
back?
online. They're all probably. He's back. He's back.
Okay. See, when I start dancing, I'm back, so I'll just dance more.
Might have to get Matt to move you into another room tomorrow, Bob.
I should. Sorry about that.
That's all.
And it's worked fine in the past, love, so my apologies.
Oh, it might be me.
Could be. You're sending some paganism my way, aren't you?
So anyway, apart from the fact that Namaste Slasher is out tomorrow, I've had a couple of questions sent in. Are you up for answering?
Oh, oh yeah, sure. Fun.
So, what is the most surprising thing you have learnt about yourself since you've been an author?
Ooh, good one. Can you tell me who? No, no, I guess not. Who else? That I'm curious. Most surprising thing. I'm more thick-skinned than I thought I would be.
That's good.
I Yeah, I thought I'll get my first whatever, and I'll just crumble. I really didn't. It was a bit of a poof moment, and I took it on board and like, okay, I'll be better next time, or I'll do this differently next time. Yeah, I think I have. I think people usually see me as bubbly and kind of just smiley and this and that, but I can cope with quite a bit. So I felt like I have a thicker skin. That's the main one. So
Yeah.
positive, hopefully.
And I think
Yeah.
really, as a creative, whatever creative art you're in, whether it's or it's writing or art or literature or music, you're all quite
Hmm.
sensitive souls, really, because you won't be able to do it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Because you're
and it's
tapping
vulnerable.
into something
Yeah,
that most
yeah,
people can't
exactly.
access. Yeah,
Hmm.
I agree.
I'll I'll quickly go into this, sit in the sofa in the meantime, and hopefully the connection will be better because I feel bad for you that I'm cutting in and off. So I'll quickly go there. Oops.
Oh, Amelia says, "How are you
Go
so
ahead.
adorable but savage in your YA books?"
That's what my parents keep asking.
I'm
They
not sure
always say
that
like, "What if
Namaste
you're so?"
Slasher is YA, to be honest.
It's not
Um,
very YA, is it?
I think it's
No,
I
I
think
think
it's an
European
adult
Horse is
horror.
YA, but it's
Or
definitely more adult. I mean,
sadists.
sadists. Yeah, true. I just want to make sure I don't bother anyone because I have the roomies here too. Okay, I'll just close the door.
Oh,
Yeah, there we go.
oh,
All
bless
good.
you. Yeah, I think that's a creative thing. I think you have to just find your way through that, really. And it's not that it doesn't hurt, because it is hurtful when you're judged, isn't it? I think so. It's hurtful for everyone.
Yeah, but depends who it is at the end of the day. It's so easy to be an internet troll and say
Yeah,
something negative. If it's the people that really support you, they're the ones that matter when it comes to feedback. As long as it's constructive, I'm open. If it's just to tear you down, then that's part of it, isn't it? You're gonna get bad reviews, and
yeah.
yeah, so
The
what?
people who matter don't. The people who matter, the people who really care about you, won't do that.
Hmm.
Next question: what are you
Yep.
working on that you can tell us about?
Oof. Hmm. So, well, this one working on. I'll have a little breather after this, just a week or so. But I have something in mind for the next one. Didn't think I would say, but it will be a slasher again, but completely different. Um, Connected to something that's very in at the moment that hasn't been mixed in with the genre. That's all I can say.
Ooh,
So,
he's such a tease. He's
hmm,
such a tease.
I love a
I
little
look
tease.
forward
Matt
to
knows.
reading it. Somebody obviously who met you at the Indiana chapter in Birmingham and said how much they
Hmm.
enjoyed meeting you, buying your
Aw.
books. Wanted to know if you've got any other conventions coming up over the next year.
Yep. Got going to Canterbury. That will be through Indie Horror Chapter next year. It's an
Chapter
end of
two.
March. Chapter 2, indeed. There are some other ones in the pipeline, but I'm not allowed to say all of them yet. But I will from the moment I get the green lights. So I have to be careful, of course, that people who organize it um, say yes or no to it. But there should be a couple coming up, for at least two that I'm aware of for next year.
Brilliant.
Some in Belgium, hopefully the big one in the Brussels International Film Festival. They're hopefully going to give me a yes too. But I'll be in Canterbury for sure for those who are in Birmingham. So there we go.
Yeah, I won't be at Canterbury sadly this time. It's just a bit too far for me, although not as far as you. But it's
Well, I don't know actually, because it's not that far from me. Because it's 2 hour train to go to London from here, and then I think it's 55 minutes only to go to Canterbury. So it's not. At the end of the day, it's probably 4 hours door to door or something.
it's
It's not
seven.
too bad.
And Liz, yes, I know. Um, um,
I can't
no,
listen.
I know. I know, Liz, I know. I've got Canterbury 7 hours from me and 4 train
Oof.
journeys.
Oh, bugger. Yeah. I guess I'm lucky
It's
in the end.
just too far. With my
Hmm.
crippled legs, it's just too
Yeah.
far. Which
So
is sad
hopefully it'll
because,
be a bit close to you again next time.
well,
Hopefully.
I think the one later in the year is going to be in the southwest, which is where I am.
Okay, well, I'll come to whichever they'll have me. You know that. Not desperate at all.
You come and stay with me. I'm like half an hour
There we
from the
go.
one in southwest.
Nice. You can do some cat cuddling.
But well, yeah, they will. They won't leave you alone. Um,
Good.
do you feel supported in the indie horror community, in the indie horror book community?
Way, way, way more than I thought I would be. And I'm not just saying it because I know there's some like Liz and Matt and stuff on there. But no, honestly, I thought it is isolating when it comes to the writing job itself. But people have been very open and very warm and welcoming readers as well. There hasn't been that much nastiness, or I try to stay away from it, if anything, if I see it's, in my periphery, to put it that way.
Yeah,
But I've heard from other genres, from other authors that I know, that it gets way more competitive. And I feel, first of all, we're all indie published, so we know how hard it is to publish our own stuff.
yeah.
That I feel, for me, there's place for everyone. I mean, I don't see anyone as competition because everyone writes completely. I mean, it's horror, but there's so many subgenres. Everyone writes about different things, different experiences.
We want
So it's
everybody
not
to win.
competition.
I don't see any of it in
Absolutely, yeah.
competition. I want all of you to win, and
Hmm.
so that's how I see it. And I have to say
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
we consider you like adopted UK.
Adopted UK, the
Do you
little
know what I,
Belgian in the UK.
do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, but I'm glad because Belgians are not really open to horror. So the fact that I was invited over to the UK for the convention I still am very grateful because there's not that many opportunities here compared to the UK or other like Anglophone countries. So
yeah,
thank you, UK
and
people.
yes, Shelley, Canterbury's beautiful, and I'm very sad. If I was well, I would do it. It's the
It is
most. I don't know
gorgeous.
if you've ever been. I don't know if you've ever been, but it's the most beautiful place. Cobbled. It's like York. It's very
Hmm.
much like York. Tiny little streets and lovely little second-hand bookshops, and it's
Yeah,
absolutely
loads of
beautiful.
bookshops. Yeah,
It
I'm
is
excited
beautiful.
to go back. I've been. Hmm.
So that's all the questions I've got.
Nice. No, it's nice getting some questions and didn't expect that. That's always
Yeah,
a lovely
they're from our
surprise.
followers on TikTok, actually, which is
Hmm.
strange because we're on Instagram. But anyway,
Yeah, okay, cool. Haunted
all the
tea
haunted
rooms.
tea
Wait, what?
rooms.
In Canterbury?
Is
For
that?
real?
Perhaps
I'll
you could
definitely go
go
into
into
that
that
then.
tomorrow, Matt. Could you?
Yes, please, because I want to hear more about that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm very sad not to be coming because there's so many of I loved seeing you all in Birmingham, and there's quite a few
Mhm.
new authors going to Canterbury.
It's a bigger group too this time. Yeah,
Yeah, much
I think
bigger. It's
there's
a bigger venue,
40 in
isn't it?
total. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
looks like a really nice hall.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tiny
There'll
Tim's
be-
tea room. Tiny Tim's tea room. Does he say "God bless us, everyone" at the end every time he makes a cup of tea?
I'm like, who's Tiny Tim though?
Oh, Christmas Carol.
Oh, oh, okay, it's coming back. See, yeah, see, lost me there. Belgian
I'm
moment.
assuming that's the time. I mean, with mass, I don't know. It could mean anything. I'm
I think
assuming
he's
it's
referring to
Christmas
something
Carol.
else.
So anyway, my loves, tomorrow the Namaste Slasher is
Hmm.
out. If you
Yep, yep.
want to, you can pre-order it now and have it delivered as soon as possible. In fact,
Yeah, paperback you can already get now, actually. Yeah.
if you order the Kindle, it'll probably be on your Kindle before you've paid for it. You'll pay for it;
Hmm.
it'll be straight there, right?
Yeah, and it's still discounted now the price because I'm part of Terrify Your Tablet event on the 3rd of
Oh
October,
yes,
which is a massive, massive horror event, as I guess most horror readers know, and there'll be tons of people who put on their books for free or for 99 cents.
just so
My
you
the
know,
ebook one is
everybody.
staying.
Yeah,
Sorry, go
Terrify
ahead.
Your Tablet. Yeah, is a Kindle event, and whereas there's loads of horror that'll all be discounted. I'll see if I
Hundreds, yeah.
can find the link for you to put into this video when I post it. It'll be
Okay,
a
cool.
fantastic event. Yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
I tend
So
to
it'll
get
be
them
up.
delivered. What are you talking about, Liz? What are you getting delivered in bulk? Are we still on cream tea?
Um, my books, I'm guessing. For the first event, I couldn't bring all the books, so
Oh,
kind of had to send them to
yes.
Elizabeth, who was very, very kind to bring all of them to the event.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
I'd completely forgotten about that. Oh, Lord.
So I
Yeah,
might
so
have to do the same thing soon.
it's available now to pre-order. It'll be out tomorrow into the wild. It's a fantastic, juicy, gory slasher. And it's perfect for spooky season coming up. I mean, it's spooky season 24/7 in my house all year. But for
Same.
those of you that love horror, especially at this time of year,
Mhm.
it's a fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. And that's not just because he's
I
my friend,
appreciate.
because I'd tell him if it was rubbish.
That's true. No, I appreciate it. I hope people will give it a go and enjoy it. There's a bit more humor in it than with European Halls, I think. It's a bit more
Oh, it's
80s.
very,
So
very
Friday
funny.
13th.
I mean,
I
it's really,
had so much fun with this
it
one.
was it's so funny. It's one of those things where one minute you're laughing and the next minute you're like, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? So it's a
Mhm.
perfect mix of kind of humor and death.
It's a good way to put it. The dichotomy of the year.
Do you know what I mean?
Yin Yang.
It's brilliant. The characters are fantastic. Um,
Thank
you
you.
really, really get to know them really well. And
Hmm.
yeah, the twists, my darlings.
Don't think you'll see them coming. Well, I hope. We'll see. Still
Yeah.
have the poster. We had like a book release party with the roommates and some friends
I
here, so it's still behind
know.
me. This is normally not up. I'm not that arrogant.
You
This was fun to hang it up
should
there.
leave it up. It looks
Just to,
good. It looks good.
nah. I don't live on my own, you know. So,
It is.
but
I
yeah.
mean, the thing is the dialogue is funny, but the story is actually quite serious. So it's that wonderful dichotomy of it's
Hmm.
actually incredibly, the fear is very palpable, but the way that they banter is just brilliant, and it's very, very funny. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Go and get it out tomorrow.
Yes, please.
So proud of you.
Whoop, whoop. Thank you, thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. I appreciate it.
And just so you know, I'll put this everywhere to be all over the place in a minute. But Alan is on the indie horror chapter, if you remember, tomorrow with Matt, who's in the chat, Matt Clark.
Hmm.
And they're going to be talking author to author, probably about haunted tea rooms. Who knows?
And Tiny Tims,
And
whoever
tiny.
these Tims are.
Oh my God! I dread to think how that conversation's going to go.
I
You can
know.
be
Think I'll eat a nap before.
a little bit more freer on a Facebook group than you can on Instagram.
Oh yeah. I can curse. Great.
Oh well, they haven't cut us off, love, have they?
There you go.
But anyway, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and thank you
Thank you,
everybody
people.
in the chat. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon.
No, definitely. Have a lovely
Love
evening,
you.
everyone. And thanks for joining for publication. Big hug.
Bye,
Ciao,
lovely.
Sharon. Thank you. See
Bye.
you. Bye.